how SpaceX actually makes money. Welcome to Facts USA and World. Today we'll uncover how SpaceX, Elon Musk's private space company, actually makes money. Because believe it or not, it's not just about rockets and Mars dreams. It's about building a business empire in space. At the beginning, a crazy idea that worked. When Elon Musk founded SpaceX in 2002, everyone thought he was insane. A private company competing with NASA? Impossible. At that time, rockets were so expensive that only governments could afford them. But Musk had one radical idea: reuse rockets like airplanes. Why throw away a $60 million rocket after one flight? That single innovation, reusability, changed the entire space industry forever. Today, a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket can launch, land, and fly again in just a few weeks. That means SpaceX can launch satellites cheaper and faster than anyone else. And that's where the money starts flowing. 1. Launch services, the core business. The first and most obvious source of revenue is launch contracts. Every time SpaceX launches a Falcon 9, it earns around $60 to $90 million. They launch for NASA, sending cargo and astronauts to the International Space Station. Private companies, like OneWeb or Intelsat, who need satellites in orbit. Governments and militaries, including the U.S. Department of Defense. Thanks to reusability, SpaceX's costs are lower than any competitors, sometimes half the price. That's why they dominate the global launch market with over 60% share today. But that's only part of the story. 2. Starlink, the internet from space. In 2019, SpaceX quietly launched its next big business, Starlink, a global satellite internet network. The idea? Bring fast internet to every corner of Earth using thousands of low-orbit satellites. Today, Starlink has over 3 million customers in more than 100 countries. Each user pays about $100 per month, which means over $3 billion a year in recurring revenue. Starlink now earns more than half of SpaceX's total income, and it's growing fast. It's not just a tech project, it's the company's financial rocket fuel. Even better, Starlink satellites are launched by SpaceX rockets. That means SpaceX makes money on both sides, launching the satellites and selling the internet they provide. It's a perfect closed-loop business. 3. NASA and government contracts. SpaceX also earns billions from NASA and U.S. government contracts. They transport cargo and astronauts to the ISS under NASA's Commercial Crew Program, and they're developing the Starship, a massive rocket for future Moon and Mars missions. In 2021, NASA awarded SpaceX a $2.9 billion contract to develop the lunar lander for the Artemis program. The Pentagon also uses SpaceX for secure satellite launches and communications. Government money helps SpaceX fund its most ambitious projects, like Starship and Mars colonization, without relying on Wall Street or shareholders. 4. The Starship, the next revolution. SpaceX's next giant leap is Starship, the world's most powerful rocket ever built. It's designed to carry up to 150 tons to orbit, fully reusable. If it works as planned, Starship could reduce the cost of launching to space by 90%. That would make space travel, satellites, tourism, even building lunar bases cheaper than ever. Starship could also deliver Starlink satellites, cargo for NASA, and maybe one day, people to Mars. Each successful launch could bring in hundreds of millions of dollars and open up entirely new markets. 5. Private and future projects. Beyond rockets and internet, SpaceX is exploring other revenue streams. Space tourism, private flights for billionaires, defense technology, secure satellite systems for global communications, interplanetary transport, the long-term dream of colonizing Mars. Musk's ultimate vision isn't just profit. It's a self-sustaining economy in space. But to reach that future, the company still needs money today, and it's earning plenty. The numbers. SpaceX's estimated revenue in 2024 was around $9 to $10 billion, and the company's private valuation has reached over $180 billion, making it the most valuable startup in the world. More than half of that value comes from Starlink, which may soon be spun off into its own public company. In short, SpaceX isn't just changing space exploration, it's proving that space can be profitable. Conclusion: selling the future. So how does SpaceX make money? Not just by launching rockets. They sell internet contracts, and they most of all, the future of humanity beyond Earth. Every launch, every satellite, every bold experiment. It all brings us closer to a world where space isn't science fiction, but business reality. They don't just launch rockets, they launch the next economy.